It's July 4th, 2020. Heading over to Kincaid's to get some hamburgers. And we're going to watch the big Washington, D.C. festivities on television on YouTube. We don't have cable anymore, and we cut ties to satellite, and now we're just watching TV with the antenna, and mainly just YouTube. Hearing the Beach Boys on a summer day reminds me of, there were two formative years from 73 to 75. We were living in San Antonio. I was going to Regency Place Elementary School, and San Antonio was my mom's hometown. And my father got stationed there at the Army base for 2 years, and so third and fourth grade, during third grade is when I really discovered the Marvel superheroes, and instead of just the Marvel horror. And let's see what else happened during those years. Wacky Packages, they were a huge phenomenon. I collected those voraciously and still have all of them. What else was big? Monster magazines, Mego dolls. Mego has actually come back lately. It's a collectible line of figures. The original creator of that line, Marty Abrams, is running it. It's mainly, I guess, distributed through Target. But they were called Mego dolls. To make no mistake, they weren't called Mego action figures at that time. What else? Yeah, it was just a great time. And my oldest brother, he was in college when I was in third and fourth grade. And my brother Steve would come back into town because he was going to school at UTA in Arlington, Texas, which is, 5 hours north of San Antonio. And he'd come down sometimes on weekends, and he had an old Ford Maverick, and he'd drive around, and I don't want to miss the turn. Now it's coming up. And he had an 8-track player, and some of the music that he would play, and some of the music that I would hear on the radio in his car, still to me is the music of summer. And he had a Beach Boys Endless Summer 8-track, and he had a Jim Croce Photographs and Memories 8-track, and it was whatever his girlfriend at the time was listening to, I'm sure, because later on in the 80s he was listening to Dan Fogelberg and just some of the most god-awful shit I've ever heard in my life. So I think he just had maybe a girlfriend in college that had good taste in music. But anyway, that's how I was first exposed to the Beach Boys. No, actually, I may have been exposed to the Beach Boys with the American Graffiti soundtrack. My other brother, I'm the youngest of 3 sons, and my oldest brother was born in, I guess, 52, and the second oldest brother was born in 54. So they were, I may be off, they were both about 10 years older than me. So my brother Mike was in high school, going to MacArthur High School, while I was in elementary school. I came along much later. Obviously, I wasn't really planned. So my brother Mike bought the soundtrack to American Graffiti on the album. But he didn't have a record player, and I had my childhood record player, so he asked me to play it on my record player to make sure there were no skips in it. And because back then, in the 70s, you could buy a brand new record and take off the shrink wrap, and it would already sound like it was 10 years old, because they weren't using the best vinyl in the 70s. And records oftentimes had a lot of skips and pops and hiss right from the beginning. So he wanted me to listen to it all the way through to make sure it was okay. You didn't have to go swap it out at the store. And of course, that exposed me to the music of the 50s and early 60s, and then the 8-tracks my brother was listening to, and then what was on the radio at the time. Even though the music of the 70s is very much scorned, or at least it was for a while, that was, when I hear the song Summer Breeze, that really brings back a summer day in San Antonio in the early 70s. Right now the air conditioner's not working in this car, and that's not good. But I only paid $4,000 for this car, and that was good. What's this? I'm going off to Kincaid's. There's some of the best hamburgers around. And then celebrate our July 4th. And let's see. I've been thinking a lot about ending this video.